Hi guys, welcome back to E3. Today I'm joined by Joel and James. Good to meet you guys.
Pleasure to be here, thank you.
Fantastic, and we're talking Borderlands, the pre-sequel. First of all, what does that mean?
Well, so it's a crazy name, we know that, but the pre-sequel means that it takes place before Borderlands 2, but after Borderlands 1.
Right. So in between the two games, and what can we expect from the pre-sequel then? What's the story?
The pre-sequel kind of highlights the rise of Handsome Jack, basically like his ascent to being in charge of Hyperion, and kind of like sets the stage for, well, really for Borderlands 2.
Fantastic.
Yeah, what's really cool about the pre-sequel is it allows players to go to the moon that they've been staring at for Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. And they would have noticed in between Borderlands 1 and 2, there were these lava cracks that appeared on the moon and this Hyperion space station. Well, in the pre-sequel, players are actually going to get the chance to jump in low gravity all over the moon and actually go up to the moonshot facility, that Hyperion space station.
Fantastic. And one of the the key features of Borderlands has always been its amazing kind of co-op gunplay. Can we expect similar and better from Borderlands the pre-sequel?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we were expanding upon that gameplay already by adding the cryo, which is an ice elemental. We're adding lasers as a new gun type. We're also adding even additional skills to the playable characters that emphasize co-op play, so that there's just more ways for you to have fun with your friends.
Yeah, one of the really cool skills that you can use with your buddies when you're playing as Athena, which is one of the new playable characters, you have this kinetic aspect, this shield which absorbs damage from enemies. Well, there's one skill you can unlock where you can actually absorb it from a friend. So if they shoot towards your shield, you can absorb their power and even elemental power. So before going into a fight, you can really charge that shield up and then straight away throw your shield and take out a bunch of enemies.
Fantastic. And you mentioned the new characters there. Can you take us through the new characters, the new classes? Who are we going to get to play as?
So we have 4 playable characters. We have Nisha, who was the Sheriff of Lynchwood in Borderlands 2, Claptrap, who everyone knows from Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and Wilhelm and Athena. So far we've been focusing on Wilhelm and Athena in the demos. Wilhelm was obviously like the first big boss of Borderlands 2, and Athena was one of your mission givers in the General Knox DLC. And so we're focusing on them right now.
Yeah, so Wilhelm's action skill, he has the ability to spawn these 2 drones. They're called Wolf and Saint. Wolf, he's kind of an attack drone, so he can do missile strikes on people. He can also do a kamikaze attack when he's running out of time. And Saint kind of heals and buffs you. And you can also, when you're going down these skill trees for Wilhelm, the central one is completely focused on him, because in Borderlands 2, he was this giant loader with just a human head on board. And you start out when he's mainly man in this one, and as you go down that skill tree, you can actually select skills that completely change him. So you can give him a robotic arm, and as soon as you choose that skill, he'll actually change. So he's going to visually change and become a badass robot as you level him up.
Fantastic. One of the things that's always struck me about Borderlands is the kind of variety and amount of weaponry you've got and the crazy things they can do. How do you guys come up with all this stuff? Do you have to sit down on a brainstorming meeting, and where do all these ideas for all these weapons come from?
Well, we always want the players to feel like we're adding stuff to the game. We don't want to just be comfortable with whatever we did in the previous game. And when we were thinking about what Elpis, the Pandora moon, is like, we imagined it being very cold, and so it seemed like a great opportunity to kind of mess around with the ice elemental. Fun story is actually that Joel's team at 2K Australia really pushed for it, and we at Gearbox initially had some doubts and concerns because we had kind of dabbled in it before, and it had always kind of had some challenges with it, and just never really kept with it. But they put together a really awesome prototype for it, and we were playing around with it, and we were like, this is awesome.
Yeah. The really cool thing about how the weapon system works in Borderlands is if you add a little, you're actually adding a huge amount. So by creating a new weapon type with the lasers, there are the different manufacturers which give you beam lasers and bolt lasers and different reload attributes and everything. So that combined with all the other weapons and manufacturers already adds thousands, and then adding the cryo, which allows you to freeze and shatter enemies, it adds thousands more. So just by adding that new weapon type and the new elemental, you have this huge vast amount. So you can have a beam laser which has a cryo elemental, so you can be shooting out an ice beam, freezing someone, and then you can, using the low gravity and the oxygen, you can then butt stomp down to the ground and then shatter them into a million pieces.
Amazing stuff. And now, finally, just to wrap up then, we're seeing the Borderlands world kind of really kind of expanding now. We have Borderlands 1, and we had number 2. We've got the pre-sequel. We've got Borderlands 2 coming to Vita. We've got Telltale Games making their Tales from the Borderlands series. How exciting is it for you guys to see the world of Borderlands just growing and going and expanding like that?
I mean, it's awesome. Obviously, even whenever we did DLC on Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, we were trying to show just how much this one world can offer. And fans have been really just consuming that, which is awesome because we like to tell stories, we like to entertain. And then working with Telltale has been really exciting because they have their own stories that they want to tell on this planet. And now that we're even going to the moon, it's an entirely new environment that we can explore in as well, which is really great because it allows us to continue to grow as storytellers.
Yeah, for us, we've been fans of Borderlands ever since the first one came out. In fact, at 2K Australia, we were playing a beta of Borderlands 1 about a year before it came out, so we've been fans for longer than anyone else, any of the fans. And we've been in Bioshock land for the last 10 years, and to be able to work on a franchise like Borderlands is just awesome for us. It's kind of like, just our ultimate fan game. We have these talented designers and working with the guys at Gearbox, and we really got to bring kind of everything that we learned over the last 10 years working on Bioshock, and then the expertise of these guys to just bring a completely new game, which it has everything that people love and that worked really great about Borderlands, but it also feels completely fresh and new with this low gravity gameplay and the new characters and everything.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. That is Borderlands, the pre-sequel. It's looking awesome. Make sure you check it out. If you want more videos from E3, make sure you check out the channel. We've got absolutely loads going up all week. Make sure you subscribe.